In this video, we attempt to help answer the question of how to choose a time tracking system. So one of the first questions you might consider asking yourself is, why do you want the system? Is it for client billing or project tracking? So this is a critical question because the systems that you look at might be stronger in one area or the other, and you want one that aligns with your company perspectives and needs. So what we're going to do is take those two tracks in this video and just look at both sides of this and give you a few things to think about. Of course, we're going to be using our Standard Time product, and we hope that you'll consider Standard Time as a candidate. So let's start talking about client billing for the first part of this. The first thing you want to consider is finding a product that has a good timesheet. It allows you to see all of the projects that you're going to be tracking time to. If you're billing time to clients, you want to make sure that you have multiple projects per client. You're able to see all of your tasks, put your hours into that, see your totals here. You probably want something like a time log. This is essentially a list of all of the records from your timesheet that all the employees have entered in. That's sortable and filterable by employee. You probably want something like a timer. Whether you use the timer or enter manually into the timesheet, you may consider using a timer to start and stop your tasks. We also have a thing called Quick Tasks that allows you to basically click a checkbox to start and stop tasks. So whether you use the timesheet manually or otherwise, that's a valuable thing. The other thing you might consider looking at is being able to see your time in a graphical basis. So being able to just look at when each of those tasks were started and stopped. So that's a graphical look at the timesheet. The other thing you want to make sure you have is both Windows and web. This is the web version of Standard Time. Don't choose just a pure web solution because some of your employees might want to use a Windows app inside the firewall on your local area network. Certainly you want to make sure you have a good billing system that allows you to choose a project or a client, a project, maybe a sub-project, break that down, and then choose all of the time and expenses that go on the invoice, and then have one that has multiple templates that you can choose. So those are just some of the things to consider for choosing a time tracking system for client billing. Now we're going to talk a little bit about project tracking. You may want to track projects even if you're doing client billing. These would be client projects, and so we're going to take a little bit of a look at that just briefly, clicking over on the Project Tasks tab. Make sure you choose a system that has a nice hierarchical project list. It's not just a flat list of tasks. Here you see sub-projects that are collapsible. You see the actual tasks underneath that. All the values you see here roll up to the sub-project and the project level. You probably want to track the durations versus actual to see percent complete. Maybe you see a nice little status bar here as well. So you want to track costs and hours against the estimates. Another thing you might consider looking at is employee availability and resource allocation. When employees are scheduled to work on what tasks. So that's another thing to look for. Over in the View menu here, you might consider looking for a feature that will allow you to estimate your project revenue. So as you look at Standard Time, and I hope you certainly will, you can look at the View menu. You can look at the Tools menu to see some of the features that we have that would be useful for both client tracking and project tracking. Now certainly having expense tracking built in and time off tracking is another feature that you'll want to look for, because those are some freebies that are thrown in there. And make sure there is some good reporting built in as well. So hopefully that has given you a few ideas and things to look for when choosing a time tracking system.